Hi, this is Andy Frith, Sheffield Advanced Motorcyclists, out with Sue on her fifth ride. Last time out we were concentrating on safety position, which is much improved this week. Good positioning on oncoming vehicles. I'm just going to comment on this area about bends. Your position in bends is a little bit central again, so like the safety position, use more of the road. Here you need to be more over in position one for this right-hander. You're sort of like just shy of the central position, so push it over left, and then as we go around the bend, switch to position three. See where I am compared to yourself, more out, adjusting position for the oncoming. That was good, but now push left a little bit more. That's good. And then finally we swing over the brow of the hill and push outwards a little bit more for the upcoming left-hander, just there. So you've got the right idea, but you need to just use more of the road on your approach to the bends, like you have been doing, using more of the road on your safety position. And a good safety position there for those oncoming vehicles. So now we're heading out beyond Old Coats towards Tick Hill, and again, just for the bends, just push out a little bit more either way, because you're still maintaining a fairly central position. This is just to illustrate how much more of the road you could use. So we said that the purpose of this session will be on forward planning and overtaking. So I'm going to talk a little bit about your positioning on overtakes or potential overtakes, and looking ahead to what's happening and how we can make progress. So you've got a skip lorry and two cars, and you're in a following position there. This is just through Tick Hill. Really, you need to be up into an overtake position now on that dark blue car, because the view's up, the dotted lines have broken and the view's opening up, and just here, there you've got a great view, cross view right down the road of the potential space, but you're not in an overtake position, you're in a following position, and we could have easily had that dark blue car, potentially the light blue car, and we could be behind the skip lorry now, because all this was clear and you could see this all the way from the top of the hill. But you're just maintaining a following position, so we're not actually making as much progress as we potentially could do. Now the solid white lines have started and a series of bends, so we're not going to get round now, but you're still in the following position. Skip lorry turns off right. Again, we should be right up to that blue car now, in anticipation of that clearing that junction, and about now we should be moving 90 degrees right to check the view, and we could have been gone. I'm doing 23 miles an hour on my clock, and we could have had both those cars again before that red car came down. And again, on the way up here, look at the following position you're in. You're employing the 2-second rule, but we've got to be anticipating when this view is going to open up. Solids now, but now they've opened up, we could be in that overtake position again. So we could have done that car all the way up here, potentially even both of them, by just going 90 degrees out and having a look at the view. So we clear this car, and you sort of like form the opinion that, yeah, I ought to be having these now. And you do start getting a little bit closer, because that dark blue car overtakes, and it sort of like prompts you into the fact that, all right, I might be able to do this then. But then you start to go from a following position, and then we've got 40 mile an hour speed restrictions coming up, and you are accelerating away in excess of 50 miles an hour. And then you have to brake for the 40, causing that car to brake as well. So you actually did the overtake, but you could have done it a lot earlier, and in actual fact that was probably the worst place to do it, because coming into the 40 restrictions. This was a good section, riding through Maltby, 30 miles an hour, urban environment, lots going on, and you dealt very well with this. You've got a good safety position, and you're using your acceleration sense to move us forward, but then roll off when something's happening up ahead. And you showed great restraint here. As things were happening and cars were turning, it was just nice that you recognised what was going on. Like here, just dropped back a little bit, braked, and waited for it all to pan out, all nice and smooth, feet down nicely. good check before moving off, and then we go again. So this was all a good section, all the way through Maltby and through Hellaby. This is the advanced planning I'm talking about. Coming up past the Hellaby Hall Hotel towards the M18 roundabout, looking up ahead, you can see a lot of congestion, lorries stuck on the roundabout, and yet we go to the near side when the offside lane would have been a more pragmatic choice, because we could have started to clear these on the near side now. We might have actually been through before this traffic entered the roundabout on the right. But then we set off again with an obvious free lane up ahead on the offside. So I'm setting off now after a couple of cars, and you were up behind the stud traffic, and I thought, well, I'll just show you what I mean, because here we go, give you a little nod to come out or follow me, and look at all this traffic we're passing, and yet you decided to sit behind it all. You'd have probably eventually decided to come out here, but this view was available from right down the hill, and look how much traffic I've made up here. Now you're behind me, a couple of vehicles behind me at this stage, so we got through the traffic lights on the motorway roundabout here, and this is just at Morrison Supermarket just through, and I move over to let the following vehicles pass, and then I give you a wave through when they've cleared. So now you're coming, and I wave you through, and you take up the point position again. So here we are heading up towards the traffic lights. So again, you should be looking as far up ahead as possible and determining which lane is likely to be the best one to make the most progress, all within the speed limit. So here, looking ahead to the traffic lights, I would have been tempted again to move towards the offside, because not only just what's up ahead, it's what's behind you. So the first thing is that Mini comes and takes one of the positions, so you're already boxed in to a certain extent. And so now you're relying on the fact that that blue car is going to get away and help you get out of the situation. But no, another car comes up now on the offside. Now, had we taken that offside position way early, we'd have been in front of all those cars. Now, we wouldn't have been stuck behind this one on the near side. So we're still only doing 35 miles an hour, and yet another car starts to come and push up. So again, we're still boxed in. This van decides to overtake us. We're still only doing 35 miles an hour. So we really needed to get up to speed. Now we're starting to get there, and we're approaching the roundabout at Wickersley here. And again, look ahead. There's another one that's just passed us, and we're stuck behind a queue of traffic on the near side when we could have had the offside lane. There goes another one, so that's two vehicles that's passed us. We could still have the offside lane, except you go into the box, which really you didn't clear, and another vehicle passes us, so that's three vehicles that's passed us, and we're still in the near side lane. And I think another one comes actually before we get on the roundabout. So that's five. Is it 4 or 5? And we're still in the near side lane. And again, we've got vehicles in front of us. So again, we get boxed in by the vehicles on the offside. So reliant again on the van getting away, which they sort of do, but we could have either been filtered up there or in the offside lane by now, way ahead of everything. So you really got to look at what you're doing. There goes another one, and a big one at that. So we're boxed in again. Now we're heading down through Wickersley, and my intention is to carry straight on down to Wiston Crossroads. But this is the sort of like after effect of not being in front of those vehicles, because these two cars here are not driving well. He's decided, the leading car, that he'll be turning right down at the Brex roundabout, and so he's maintaining an offside position all the way down here, which is not good driving, but it sort of like interferes with your ride, because we're doing 40 miles an hour, just a bit less, and you're thinking, oh, I can't undertake on the near side, and yet there's another car that comes up on the offside because we're only doing 35 miles an hour now, and you're wondering what to do, where we're going, all for the sake of being in the offside lane a mile back. And this just carries on, and it gets worse. So we don't actually clear these vehicles until they decide to turn right towards Rotherham. Now you've got a sign there, sort of like marking the lane. I think it would have been fine for you to accelerate past all these at 40 miles an hour, even on the inside, because it's a demarked lane that says Sheffield, and that's where we're going. But we're basically, again, down to sort of like 37 miles an hour all the way down here, governed by what's on the offside. So I hope that's a good explanation of what I mean by advanced planning and really looking down the road, which dictates where you need to put your bike to make it easy. This was coming from Western Crossroads. We turned right, coming down to Rotherham, and I think you completely missed these 30 mile an hour signs, because I slowed down to 30 and you were disappearing off into the horizon. Eventually I think you clocked it. So it just, beyond that section there, we turned left. My intention was to take you into the BMW place. So I picked my horn and let you know that we were turning, attracted your attention. But unfortunately you pulled up just beyond the entrance to the dealership. And it got a little bit confused though there. So I thought by me putting my bike into the entrance and waving to you where to go, you might have got it. But unfortunately it all went wrong after that and you got lost. But not to worry.